Please sit with your back absolutely upright. With your eyes closed to your normal, subtle, natural breathing. Breathing consciously, breathing with total awareness. Now let us check our breathing pattern. And we start with Nadi Shodhan. So we do the left nostril inhalation and exhalation 7 times, and then change it to right nostril 7 times. Remember to do the long inhalation and long exhalation. After 7 rounds of inhalation and exhalation from your right nostril, you may stop. And we do the Anulom Vyom. Inhale from your left nostril, exhale from right. Immediately inhale from right, exhale from left. 7 rounds. We do one more round of Anulom Vyom. And this round, you inhale and exhale for a count of 11. So inhale for count of 11, immediately exhale from count of 11. 7 rounds. Next, we do the Anulom Vilom with stop. So inhale from your left nostril for count of 4. Hold your breath for count of 6. Exhale from your right nostril for count of 4. And after exhalation, hold your breath out for count of 6. 7 rounds. Change your posture if you like. Sit in Sukhasana or Siddhasana with your back upright. We do the Kapalbhati Kriya now. Forceful breathing out, 1 per second. Gyan Mudra, back upright, eyes closed. And we start now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Continue at the same pace, and I'll let you know when to stop. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Very long inhalation and exhalation. Next, we do the Ujjayi Pranayam. Bring your attention, your awareness to your base of your throat, to your thyroid gland. You can have the Adi Mudra for this pranayam. Keep your back upright. With inhalation, generate sound from base of your throat. Exhale through your left nostril. Seven times. Relax. The next pranayam, we do the Brahmari pranayam. Plug your ears and have your jaws together, teeth together, and when you breathe out with your humming of bees. The, the vibration from your teeth, from your mouth, feel it moving upward. The vibration, the energy. So plug your ears, stop external sounds or noise. Long inhalation, and with exhalation, generate the sound. Change your position in very comfortable posture. Keep your back as straight as possible. We close our eyes and watch our breath next 5 minutes. Let us read our book that we are started reading, the Patanjalai Yoga Sutra. If Kapilji can continue reading.
Yes, Acharya. I hope I'm audible. You want me to read a little of the passage that we left the last time?
Just the last one that we did, we ended with whatever was the last.
Yeah. The real man is behind the mind, and the mind is the instrument in his hands. And it is his intelligence that is percolating through it. It is only when you stand behind it that it becomes intelligent. When man gives it up, it falls to pieces and is nothing. So you understand what is meant by chitta. It is the mind stuff. The vrittis are the waves and the ripples rising in it when external causes impinge to it. These vrittis are our whole universe. Going forward, the bottom of the lake we cannot see because its surface is covered with ripples. It is only possible when the ripples have subsided and the water is calm for us to catch a glimpse of the bottom. If the water is muddy, the bottom will not be seen. If water is agitated all the time, the bottom will not be seen. If the water is clear and there are no waves, we can see the bottom. That bottom of the lake is our own true self. The lake is the chit and the waves are the vrittis. Again, this mind is in three states. One is darkness, which is called tamas, just as in brutes and idiots. It only acts to injure others. No other idea comes into that state of mind. Then there is the active state mind, rajas, whose chief motives are power and enjoyment. I will be powerful and rule others. Then at last, when the waves cease and the water of the lake becomes clear, there is a state called sattva, serenity, calmness. It is not inactive, but rather intensely active. It is the greatest manifestation of power to be calm. It is easy to be active. Let the reins go, and the horses will drag you down. Anyone can do that, but he who can stop the plunging horses is the strong man, which requires the greatest strength, letting go or restraining. The calm man is not who is dull. You must not mistake sattva for dullness or laziness. The calm man is the one who has restraint of these waves. Activity is the manifestation of lower strength, calmness of superior strength. This chit is always trying to get back to the natural pure state, but the organs draw it out. To restrain it and to check this outward tendency and to start it on the return journey so that the essence of intelligence is the first step in yoga, because only this way can the chit get into its proper course. Although this chit is in every animal, from the lowest to the highest, it is only in the human form that we find intellect And until the mind stuff can take the form of intellect, it is not possible for it to return through all these steps and liberate the soul. Immediate salvation is impossible for the cow and the dog, although they have mind, because their chit cannot as yet take that form which we call intellect. Chitta
Shall we
manifests.
take a pause here? Just that we make sure that we getting what we are reading. It's no point reading if we don't get it. So here, the author has introduced three gunas together with the mind. And sattva, rajas, and tamas. The one definition of yoga, according to this, is to be aware that our activities are based on sattva guna as much as possible. Rajas is when you are driven with your desires, expectations, and attachments. And tamas is when you are your only goal is to fulfill your desires and expectations by any means. So here the mind must be brought to a point of sattva, the goodness. In other words, that when you close your eyes and when you reflect upon on your thoughts, you must check, are these thoughts of any help, are any kindness, are any useful to me and to everyone else? If there are actions and words and thoughts are not of use to you or to anyone else based on sattva guna, then those thoughts must not be perceived. No follow-ups on those thoughts needed. And this comes only with the awareness of your thoughts and mind. So the three gunas play a vital role, and awareness of these gunas and your thoughts and words and action have to be based on sattva and rajas at the most. Tamas must be avoided completely. The other part so far he has mentioned is about the keeping mind in stillness. In other words, the number of thoughts have to be reduced. Example he gives of the water in the lake. You could see the bottom of the lake only if the water is still and clean. If the water is muddy and water got ripples, it is hard to see the bottom. Similarly, if your mind is agitated, full of action, activity, desires, attachments, it indicates the rajas guna and tamas guna. You will not recognize your true identity. In order to identify, acknowledge, and realize that original nature, your true self, you need to have your mind with complete stillness. Stillness would mean that unnecessary, unexpected, unwanted thoughts have to be avoided. Are there any doubt or questions so far? All right, let's read. Please continue.
Yeah. Although this chit is in every animal from the lowest to the highest, it is only in the human form that we find intellect. And until the mind stuff can take the form of intellect, it is not possible for it to return through all these steps and liberate the soul. Immediate salvation is impossible for the cow and the dog, although they have mind, because their chit cannot yet take the form which we call intellect.
So
Chit,
now he begins. Now he begins the role of an intellect, the
intellect.
buddhi. So remember the difference between chit and chitta. Chitta is your subtle body. Chit is your true self. Chit is consciousness, pure consciousness. Chitta is your subtle body, which is your mind, ego, memory. And he introduced that the difference between human and all other animals, the difference is that humans are given the faculty of buddhi, or faculty of intellect, whereby you can have the use of intellect to do the discrimination. Discrimination of what kind? Discrimination to check what is reality and what is appearance, what is absolute truth, what is relative truth. That viveka is called buddhi, the discrimination. And that faculty is gifted to human. And with use of that faculty, one can decide and avoid what is not helping in the evolution, spiritual evolution. Only with this faculty you can decide that following the lifestyle of rajas and tamas would not help to grow spiritually. It is only the rajas and sattva that can lead you, and eventually the rajas have to be subsided and you continue your lifestyle based on sattva guna. That decision is possible because of the intellect, and that is what he introduces now. Please continue.
Chitta manifests itself in all three different forms: scattering, darkening, weakening, and concentrating. These are the four states in which the mind stuff manifests itself. First, a scattered form is activity. Its tendency is to manifest in the form of pleasure or pain. Then the dull form is darkness, the only tendency of which is to injure others. The commentator says the first form is natural to the devas, the angels, and the second is the demonical form. The ekagra, the concentrated form of the chit, is what brings us to samadhi.
So, conclusion of so far what we have read is that through the help of intellect, we are in position to have the viveka or the discrimination to identify what is the dharma or what is the auspicious lifestyle, which is based on sattva guna, and follow the lifestyle. Here up to now, samadhi pada, the main part of samadhi is to bring the mind to stillness. And that is possible if you are in position to have a dharana or any subject or any object of higher value, and you focus on it. After focusing, convert that into concentration, which is dhyana. So this is what he talks now, that humans are in position through the gift of intellect to adapt the concentration, power of concentration. And through the power of concentration, you can achieve the samadhi pada, or the position or the status of samadhi. While we are reading on this, remember, samadhi is not ultimate goal in spirituality. Samadhi is an excellent status. It's a higher position in the growth spiritually, but it's not ultimate, because samadhi can last as long as it lasts. But at the end of samadhi, if you cannot have the realization of your true self, then through the power of delusion, through the power of Maya, your mind will adapt the style and activity of Rajas and Tamas. And therefore, samadhi is not ultimate. It is the beginning. And how do you keep the samadhi forever, all the time, while whatever that one does? What we call meditative state. Meditative state, you do not need to have eyes closed and be seated or lying down or maintain stillness. You can be physically active, but mentally you are established, you are firm in your recognizing the true self, true nature of pure consciousness. So when you are all the time in that mode of recognizing you as the pure consciousness, you are in meditative state. So samadhi is the explanation mostly for the concentration of mind, so that you are avoiding the modification of mind, or the traffic of mind is reduced. That is why Patanjali began the Yoga Sutra by talking on samadhi. Unless your mind is at peace, mind is still, mind is in control, the Ashtanga Yoga of Patanjali is not helpful. So remember, when you're pursuing yoga as your lifestyle, start with your mind, start with your concentration. And then, of course, he will speak of asanas and other 8 limbs of Yoga Sutra, do's and don'ts, plus asanas, plus pranayama, plus sense organs, all that he will talk. But first and foremost, mind must be in your control. You must decide what kind of thought you want to entertain, what kind of thought you want to avoid, what kind of feelings and emotions and thoughts you should not attend to. Moment you recognize and stay with that thought, it will continue the stream of the similar thoughts. It is something like what you watch on internet. You click on one subject that you like, and you will notice you will bombarded with same kind of subjects all along. Yeah, you select any recording or video on YouTube of any subject, it recognizes that you like this subject, and therefore it is provided continuously. Similarly, whatever thought that you want to entertain, identify there, stay there. The kind of thoughts and feelings you do not want to entertain, do not want to pursue, stop at very first go. Stop it straight away.
Acharya ji, then all three gunas, Satat and Rajat and Tamas. So it is built in every person's. It is the matlab that's every person having all that guna, three gunas.
Yes. Yes.
Some
We all
portion,
have.
somebody have some more Rajat, some Tamas, some Satatva. So,
Yeah.
but that's very difficult. We only go for Satguna.
It may be difficult in the beginning, but if your willpower, if your intellect, your buddhi is in power, then you can follow it. For example, very simple example. You are driving a car and something that unexpectedly happens which you did not expect. In other words, somebody overtakes you or somebody makes some comments on you or whatever. You have choice either to get angry or frown or just smile and say, it's okay. What would you do? What would you choose? If you choose to yell back or to get angry or to feel bad, you are you are working or your performance is based on rajas and tapas. But if you just smile and say that's okay, it happens, and let it go, you are more on sattvic. Now that choice is ours, whether to follow sattvic or tamasic. But that choice you can pursue only if you are in awareness. If you are driving a car like a machine, like a robot, and you spontaneously behave according to your emotion without a check, then most time you might be on rajasic and tamasic. So all gunas are with us in different percentages. That is true. But it is our choice to reduce what we do not want and do not act on those emotions and thoughts. That's up to us.
Yeah, Acharya ji.
In another example in our yoga classes, if I have to feel bad that today there are only two people and therefore I should feel bad, or I should say it can happen. Some people are busy and they cannot attend regularly or every time. It's my choice. That choice happens only if I'm in awareness. Do you understand? If I say, oh, what is this? I'm here, but no one else is here, only two people, and I feel bad about it, then I'm on rajasic and tamasic. But if I smile and say it's okay, it happens sometimes. It's my choice. But that choice happens only if you are aware of it. If you spontaneous feeling and you follow that without awareness, then you could feel bad and you could have the rajasic or tamasic expressions. So it's up to us. That is why
Acharya,
Patanjali says, control your thoughts, emotions, mind. Mind is the faculty that we have to put in check. Because everything begins with thoughts. Everything begins with our mind, our feelings. Isn't it? It
I
is
guess
how you
I guess a
feel.
lot of it depends on the state of mind you are at that particular moment.
Yes,
The same person could react to the same situation in a totally different manner.
yes, yes. So
So it's
it
important.
it is dependent on the situations and different incidents, but at the same time, largely it is your choice. It is your willpower. No matter how adverse is the situation, it is easy to get upset and angry and whatever. That means the expression of Rajasic and Tamasic. That's easy because that's the lifestyle most of us have. But to maintain cool, maintain calmness, maintain absolute serene, you need to be in awareness. If you are in awareness that everything has a purpose, all that is happening has a purpose, and you accept it. And then, so the bottom line, in my point of view, is that you have to be conscious, aware of what choice you have, what choice are you taking. That's what I mean, that when we read this kind of literature, whether it is Upanishads or Bhagavad Gita or Patanjali's or I am that or any of that kind, um, slowly but surely one has to adapt and use in lifestyle, take it in our life. After all, that is why we are trying to learn. So we, as Aditi has mentioned, that unfortunately Saturday I am not available. So the book reading, I like